We've talked just about everything, haven't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I talked with Angela about more things than my parents would. My parents didn't talk to me about anything. It's been amazing and really scary, hard things, and I just feel like it's been a blessing to be able to do that.
Also, in the beginning, we really didn't know Angie from Adam, and we were feeling very protective of you and Scott, so we put some limitations on you in the beginning.
We did.
Janet, I did no idea about this bank account thing. That was no.
She just wanted to help. She wasn't going to give me money. She just
No, but there was, I remember a conversation that we had, and Janet comes in, and she said, I know that you have, put the kibosh on some things, but she goes, I really want to invite Angie over. I really want her to come over to my house and eat dinner. And do you remember that?
Now I do.
Yeah.
I forgot about
Yeah.
that.
And so tell me about some conversations that you and Scott had about whether you should have Angela out to your house.
Well, it wasn't having you over to our house. I gave her the keys to my house and the remote control to my house. And I had to talk to my husband about that.
Yeah.
And there was no problem. And yeah, but we did, Gar and I had some talks, and my husband and I had some talks. I also remember coming into your office in tears saying, how come everybody's so concerned about this? I don't get it, because I wasn't concerned about it. And I just really felt that was from God.
Janet, can you tell me why you got into mentoring? I mean, why did you do it?
Well, I think that 24/7 people have been praying about the program for some time before it started. But once Gar started holding Sunday morning Bible studies, I went. And the first time I was there, I have never cried so much since I've met Gar and been involved in the 24/7 program. I knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that the Holy Spirit was moving me to be involved. I had no idea I was going to be a mentor. Then I remember going home and telling Scott, Gar makes sense to me, and this makes sense to me. This, to me, is what my faith is supposed to be about. And so he said, well, then go talk to Gar. And I remember walking in your office, and I think I want to be involved. He says, yeah, I think I want you to be a mentor. And I remember thinking, oh, I don't have any idea what I'm doing. So, and here I am. So, by the grace of God. By the grace of God.
It really is. You're okay.
I'm connected. Do you want me this on me still? Or give that away? I'm probably going to get fired out.
I'll take this from Janet. I have one more story with Janet and Angie. We were down at the old house, and we were having a meeting, and it was a worship meeting, and we were praying, and I was talking about how God takes back territory for himself, and about how God takes back geography, and about how God takes back people's lives. He reconciles lives. He puts lives back together. That's his business. And I'm talking, and I see Angie start to cry. And she wasn't crying, she was sobbing. And I remember this picture in my mind of Janet huddling over her and just rocking her, just back and forth. It was crazy. And I was like, man, I'm saying some horrible things tonight. But afterwards, I asked her, in fact, before the meeting stopped, I don't know if you remember this, Angie, I asked you what was up, and she said, when I first came, well, you tell it. Do you remember what you said? About
better.
Okay.
But I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. She came to apply for the program. She drove up to the house to meet the folks, Mary Lou, to fill out the application, and she wanted to leave right away because it was a former drug house where she had gone and bought drugs. And she thought to herself that, well, if there's hope for this old house, then there must be hope for me. And she gave that testimony to the people that were there, and she goes, I did drugs in this very room that we're worshiping in right now. And I had no idea. You know, here we were talking about how God's taking back geography for himself and taking back lives. And it was just, it was one of those serendipitous moments where you knew God was there and you knew that you were doing the right thing. And mentoring and working with people in recovery are full of moments like that. God is moving in power and in strength to change people's lives. He's just looking for tools to do his work. And so I thank you, Janet, for being a tool. I thank you, Angie, for being willing to participate as much as you've had. You've both been guinea pigs, and you've came out with flying colors, and I'd just like to say, well done. Well done.